Forbes just dropped their list of the highest paid actors of 2024, and it's a mess in the best possible way. Now, before anyone gets too excited, this isn't some exact science. Forbes doesn't use clean earnings data from a specific calendar year. These numbers are based on what these actors earned from movies and TV shows that came out last year. So yeah, if they got paid in 2022 but the project dropped in 2024, it still counts. Meanwhile, the industry was on fire. Strikes, delays, box office bombs, entire studios spiraling. And in the background of all that chaos, these actors still raked in millions. Whether they'll make that kind of money again? Who knows? With the way things are going and the global economy looking shakier than ever, there's a good chance this list is already out of date the second you look at it. But for now, let's get into it. These are the highest paid actors of 2024 according to Forbes. The Rock returned to the top of the highest paid actors list after landing what is believed to be the largest fee-plus buyout in streaming movie history, an estimated $50 million to star in Amazon's Red One last year. And when Moana 2 pivoted from a TV series to a theatrical release, he negotiated for a percentage of the movie's profits as an executive producer, an unprecedented deal for voice actors in Disney animation. After the movie grossed over $1 billion at the box office, Johnson made what one agent calls an ungodly amount of money. Reynolds was the lead producer, co-writer, and star of the biggest live-action movie of the year in Deadpool and Wolverine, which grossed more than $1.3 billion worldwide. But that was only part of a jam-packed year that included starring in John Krasinski's If, producing a new season of Welcome to Wrexham for Hulu, and depending on which version of the Blake Lively-Justin Baldoni lawsuits you believe, reworking the script for his wife's movie It Ends With Us. Nobody had a more diversified entertainment slate in 2024 than Hart, who starred in a theatrical release, Borderlands, a Netflix film, Lift, an Amazon Prime movie, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, a series on the Roku channel, Die Hard Season 3, a series on Peacock, Fight Night, The Roast of Tom Brady on Netflix, a weekly podcast for SiriusXM, Goldmines, not to mention 90 stand-up comedy shows. Add in commercial campaigns with DraftKings and Chase, not counted among his 2024 earnings, and you basically can't turn on any screen without seeing Kevin Hart. Jerry Seinfeld, named a billionaire by Forbes last year, remains active on the stand-up circuit while his eponymous sitcom continues to bring in 8 figures every year. During the pandemic, he wrote a script spoofing the invention of Pop-Tarts, Unfrosted, which he eventually directed and starred in for Netflix last year. After the emotional send-off of his Wolverine character in 2017's Logan, nothing short of a massive payday and the opportunity to work with his good friend Ryan Reynolds would have convinced Jackman to don the adamantium claws once again. But Deadpool and Wolverine will likely end up being the most lucrative movie of his career. After pulling Wolves, co-starring his good friend George Clooney, from a theatrical release last year, opting to show it directly on Apple TV, Apple is betting the house on Pitt's Formula One movie in theaters this summer. Meanwhile, his production company, Plan B, continues to be a juggernaut, both at the box office with Beetlejuice, and on the awards circuit, backing longshot Best Picture nominee Nickel Boys. Clooney publicly denied the reporting that he and Brad Pitt were paid $35 million each for the spy comedy Wolves, which he called bad for our industry if that's what people think is the standard bearer for salaries. But Apple had to outbid multiple suitors for the project in 2021. And compared to Clooney's directorial efforts or Pitt's more awards-inclined projects, one dealmaker told Forbes the movie was definitely a for-profit endeavor for them. The reigning queen of AMC theaters has become one of the most bankable stars in the TV miniseries space, starring in one for Netflix, The Perfect Couple, one for Paramount, Lioness, and one for Amazon, Expats, last year, making more than $1 million per episode in each. Add to that 2 movies featuring romances with much younger men, Baby Girl, and A Family Affair, and Kidman is the highest-paid actress of 2024. Adam Sandler's overall deal with Netflix is unrivaled in the industry. allowing him to make both big commercial projects like the upcoming Happy Gilmore, two or more modest fare like 2024's Spaceman, and still receive top dollar. And the back catalog of last year's highest paid actor remains on the platform, racking up hundreds of millions of hours watched each year. Opinions around Hollywood differ as to whether the 56-year-old Oscar winner is fully back after the slap scene, round the world in 2022, but all agree that returning to the character that first made him a star was his savvy move. And 2024's Bad Boys Ride or Die was a hit, one of less than 20 movies to gross more than $400 million worldwide last year. As the anchor for Law & Order for more than 20 years and 550 episodes, Hargitay is the highest-paid actor on television by a wide margin. She earns an estimated $750,000 per episode between acting and producing fees, as well as a slice of the show's considerable syndication profits. Despite the box office failure of Fly Me to the Moon, Tatum's earnings were in the stratosphere last year as his deal was structured with a straight-to-streaming buyout of back-end participation. The 44-year-old Tatum also starred in Blink Twice, directed by his then-girlfriend Zoe Kravitz, and made a long-rumored, yet short-lived cameo as Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine. Jason Statham has proven to be box office Teflon in recent years, stringing together a series of modest hits playing regular guy action heroes, including 2024's The Beekeeper. He can command $20 million or more for such roles, in some cases nearly half of the movie's production budget, all while operating without the representation of an agent or manager. When Mark Wahlberg isn't busy running multiple companies and crushing 4 a.m. workouts, the actor divides his efforts on screen between bigger budget action movies, usually at Netflix, as was the case with last year's The Union, and more personal independent projects like Arthur the King. Artists Equity, the studio Damon co-founded with his longtime friend and collaborator Ben Affleck, continues to find willing buyers among the streaming services for projects produced by or starring the 54-year-old Oscar winner, including The Instigators for Apple TV in 2024. In addition to his upfront fees, Damon owns a piece of his movie's equity, which sell at a premium price above their production budgets,